Be specific in your niche. When you're creating content, it's really important to really niche down. I know people say this all the time. You need to niche down, you need to niche down. At first, when I was in the filmmaking realm and I was creating, content for all these different types of business owners and stuff like that, owning a production company, it made sense, right? Like, we're creating videos for all these clients that want videos, so they were coming to hire us, right? But at the same time, every time I hired my first business coach, they told me, hey, Tamara, you should niche down. And I didn't really get that at first. I was like, no, we have clients. We don't want to turn away money, right? But maybe they're not your ideal client, at that same point. So even if you're in a specific niche, we really started realizing who we wanted to work with, which was entrepreneurs. Myself being an entrepreneur as well, it really made sense on how to start leveraging and working with other entrepreneurs because they understand the growth mindset. They were, coaches, consultants, influencers, people that built digital marketing agencies, influencers online, marketing experts. Those are all the people that really come to work with us. Those that have a growth mindset and want to grow their business and broadcast their authority online consistently. That really helped us to really fine tune that piece to really say, hey, we have these specific offers that really help this specific need for this specific person. So let's say an example, you're in the fitness industry, but you want to cater to a specific type of niche within the fitness industry. Maybe you want to work with pregnant women in the second trimester of their pregnancy, or maybe you want to be in the fitness industry and you want to work with kids. Maybe you're in the fitness industry and you want to work with people that are obese. Really fine tune, like, what are you really passionate about? Where can you help provide for them? And this can pertain to everything from, say maybe you're a CPA and you're in the tax business or whatnot. Maybe you're a chiropractor, but you specifically work to cater to people that are only going to come to this one specific office, and you need to fill in your office, with appointments. Like, you really have to cater to that local market, right? So when you're targeting people and creating content, you have to create content that can be seen all over. But when you're really marketing, you're letting people know where you can be found, right? And so what I'm really trying to say is no one size fits all for when you are working in your industries. Every little tweak here can count as well. What are the gaps that are in your industry that you specifically fill for the clients that come to you? Like, you have to fill the gaps. What is it that you actually want to do in your industry? Because there's different pieces within these industries that can be, pertain to something else that you might not do, but people might look you up and say, oh, well, you're a doctor, so you do this. Well, I'm not that type of doctor, right? So you really have to make yourself known on what you specifically do so you can attract the right people. Another thing to think about, what is your unique skill within that top point, but what's your USP? What is your unique selling proposition? Like, that again attaches to that skill that's within that specific niche that you really have to decide on who you want to help serve. When you're creating content within your specific niche, you really have to put the right messaging out there so that you actually have that moment where you share what the solution is that you provide. Right? So an example, we have a client that came to us. She had a podcast already set up, audio podcast, and she found out about our offer about turning videos into podcast repurpose point. So she shifted her model and hired us so that we focused on doing her video podcast that repurposed into her audio podcast that then is now being consumed on 2 different platforms, YouTube as well as the audio podcast format in iTunes and things like that. So she went and doubled her expansion of reach of where she could be reached by putting herself on video format and audio format. You have to be able to put yourself out there and share your solutions. So we had that solution for her to be more visible in more places, right? So again, you really need to know your audience and you need to know where they're hanging out. One of the things that I'm going to suggest is when you do find that specific niche, maybe you already have your specific niche, but you're trying to figure out why people aren't finding you, right? Maybe you're producing content and you can't figure out why they're not finding you, it's because a lot of the time people aren't doing the research. You know, what is the content that you're putting out there? You know, if you're creating videos for YouTube specifically, you want to make sure you do your market research. And I'm going to share with you a tool that you can use that's awesome, that can help you in a specific way of being able to pull out SEO and find words that pertain to what people that are looking for you are actually searching for on the internet. And so I suggest a tool called ubersuggest. It's by Neil Patel. He's a great marketer in the space, and I highly recommend that tool. It's great because you can see the comparison about how many people are actually searching and how many people are actually spending ads, money, like clicks, things like that. Like, what's the reach? Because you don't want to be creating content that isn't going to actually reach somebody, that people aren't actually typing in the search bar in YouTube or Google or wherever on the internet. And you want to be able to have people find you. So that's really specific. Do your research, look up ubersuggest by Neil Patel, and really figure out ways that you can get your messaging congruent out there within your specific niche, but really type in those words that people are actually looking for. Use the keywords that the clients say to you personally. A good way to do that is actually look up and type in their questions, your responses, things that you've put on your fact section of your website maybe, that people have come to you and asked you specifically about. Create the content specifically in your niche to help pertain to those people. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe on YouTube, ring the bell to be able to get notifications for videos coming next week. I'll see you then.